TYT Sports locked out in beautiful Culver City, California. So Floyd Mayweather making news once again, what seems to be for all the wrong reasons. If you haven't seen his tweet that has been all over the message boards and caused controversy today from last night, here it is. He said, Jeremy Lin is a good player, but all the hype is because he's Asian. Black players do what he does every night and don't get the same praise. Then he defends himself. Other countries get to support / cheer their athletes, and everything is fine. As soon as I support black American athletes, I get criticized. So let's go back to his tweet for 1 second, saying it's because he's Asian and black players do what he does every night and don't get the same praise. I was talking to longtime TYT producer J.R. Jackson about this, and he threw out a very good point about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was the number one golfer in the world, of course. He won a ton of majors. He will most likely and hopefully pass Jack Nicklaus. But Tiger Woods broke all these stereotypes, and the African-American community was so pleased with what they saw and how he broke that stereotype of how black people cannot play golf. Meanwhile, he went out and won tons and tons of tournaments. So they have a right to celebrate that. He was breaking stereotypes. He was proving that he could compete against these white Americans and European players who have been playing the game longer than black people have been playing the game. And so going back to when he called out Jeremy Lin and saying it's because he's Asian, let's be totally honest and real about this, people. It's somewhat true. With that big pie, how much of it would you say is because he's Asian? I would say 50%, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, give or take. I'd say 50% about. He's only the fourth Asian American player to ever play in the NBA. So it's a big deal. Similarly to Tiger Woods when he played golf. It's a big, big deal. However, there are many variables that Floyd leaves out because in his pie it's 100% because he's Asian. Firstly, he went undrafted. Big, big deal. When he says black players do this every night, he's most likely thinking of the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron Jameses, the Russell Westbrooks, the Kevin Durants. All of those guys are well-established names. They were picks 1 through 5 in the draft. Those guys have been around. They're well-established. There's a reason they're putting up those numbers. Jeremy Lin was undrafted. Secondly, he came from Harvard. Those guys did not come from Harvard. It's actually a big deal. When you think of Ryan Fitzpatrick, what's the first thing you think of? You don't think of the Buffalo Bills. You think of Harvard. And he is always on ESPN for the not necessarily the sole fact, but it's always a fact that the media throws out there. He went to Harvard and he plays for the Bills. He must be smart. Thirdly, it's his first starts. Putting up those numbers are awesome, and they're a huge story. I mean, first-time starters don't put up those numbers. They're very timid. They don't like to shoot the ball. They don't like to attack the basket unless they warm up in the second half. At that point, they're not going to put up 20 to 28 points. They're not going to put up 38 points against Kobe Bryant. These are big, big factors that Floyd Mayweather is leaving out in this entire case with his tweet. Third, he's an underdog. Those guys are not underdogs. They are proven basketball players. They went to good schools. I mean, Jeremy Lin should have been drafted. He was in the top 10 in every statistical category, maybe even top 5 last time I checked, in the Ivy in every statistical category. He was a damn good player. And again, he's not a known player. And the whole being on his brother's couch and sleeping on Landry Fields' couch, that just adds to how great of a story it is. It's not completely and totally relevant to the case, but it's a good point. I mean, it's a fun fact, and it's just a great story. So he doesn't have to rain on his parade. Mayweather, half and half. He's partially right that he's Asian, but there's another point of many variables that Floyd is leaving out. So let me end with this. If Jeremy Lin were a black player who came from Harvard, would he be getting the same treatment that Jeremy Lin has been getting? Same exact story, not drafted, cut by his favorite team in his hometown, went to another team, got cut, got pulled up from free agency, and then bursts on the scene like this in a major market like New York. Let me know. Tweet at me, at Rick Strom. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TYT Sports. Let us know. It's a controversial topic that we want to hear from the fans like yourself.